Hey guys, welcome to the Mommy Bish channel. The last time you saw me, I was 40 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I have the baby, he's right here. I had him at 40 weeks and 6 days pregnant. So I went over about 6 days. And for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that labor was really short this time. It was about 3 hours, I'd say, so it went super quick. Just wanna let you know how things progressed and what happened and everything. At 40 weeks and 6 days, you know, the day was progressing really well. I posted a picture on Instagram telling everyone that I was still pregnant and everything. And that evening we all went to have dinner at my aunt's house, and a lot of people were there. It was like my family and my husband's family, so just like so many family members were there. So in my mind I'm like, oh, it would be so cool to go into labor. And I was just like laughing, and we were just having a good time. And my aunt just looked over at me and she's like, oh, you look tired. And so she like rubbed my belly. And I remember my sister-in-law, we were talking about you know, ways to induce labor, and my sister-in-law earlier that week told me I should try some ginger tea, but I hadn't tried it. So I asked my aunt if she had some, and she did have ginger. She just cut up the root and put it in a pot and boil it in some water, and she gave it to me to drink. I didn't put any sugar in it or anything. So she gave it to me to drink, and she told me to go take a nap. And I hate leaving a party. Like, anyone who knows me personally know that I love being around people, so it's always like hard for me to go just take a nap while everybody else is like laughing and enjoying themselves. But I decided to just go take a nap. And she was just explaining to me that I really need to relax, and maybe after taking a nap the baby would come. So she escorted me to her room and told me to take a nap, and I did. And while I was waking up, I felt like a first uncomfortable contraction, but it wasn't really strong. And I had made a pact to myself to ignore contractions until they were really strong, because I had gotten so hyped about going into labor that week, and I just didn't want to get disappointed again. So everyone left and we were still there, and while I was talking to her, I got like 3 contractions, and these ones were different from the false ones. These ones started in my lower back and kind of wrapped around. So, and it sent me to the bathroom. And so I told her, you know, this might be it. And I was seeing some blood with the contractions also. So I told her that this might be it, but I was just so confused. I'm like, should I leave the kids there, or should I go take them closer to home, because she lives probably about 45 minutes away. But we decided to leave and everything, and on our way the contractions kept coming stronger and stronger. And baby P, who's my 2-year-old, who is potty trained, just happened to just have diarrhea all over himself. So I was contracting and that was happening, and so we dropped them off at my friend's house. And yeah, we dropped him off at my friend's house, and I'm like eternally grateful. She washed him up and everything, and I was contracting too much. I couldn't even change his clothes or bathe him or anything, and so she did that. So contractions started at 9:12, and they were like 10 minutes apart or so. So we called our midwife, and I can't remember the exact time we called her. We probably called her around like after 10 sometime after 10 we called her, probably 10:15 maybe. And she said she'll be there in like 30 minutes. So my husband was hungry, and I was just annoyed at him. I'm like, he's hungry, he was tired, and I'm just, at that point I knew I was like in serious labor, because I found myself getting really annoyed. So we stopped at a restaurant to get some food, and while we were in the line, the contraction was so strong. We were in the drive-thru. I'm like, keep driving, like. So he had to like come out and drive around, because I just couldn't wait. And I decided, you know what, hey, we need to like get closer to the birth center. So we got food closer to the birth center. We got there we called around 10:15. We got there probably 10:45 or so, and she still wasn't there. So I was contracting just in the parking lot, and it was excruciating, and I just wanted to get in. I was so uncomfortable. And so she came up closer to 11, and when we went in, my contractions were strong. They were coming back to back. I felt like they were coming every minute or so. And so we went in, and she checked me, and I was 8 centimeters dilated at 11 o'clock, or a little after 11. So in 2 hours of labor, I was 8 centimeters dilated, and I just started crying because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it was progressing so fast. You know, that's never happened to me before. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, is she sure? I went into the birthing tub, and it felt so much better to just labor in there, and I would just rest my head on the tub, and you know, just I felt like laying on my side was better, and just rest my head. And so my husband would rub on my back, and the midwife would rub on my back during the contraction. And so that was after 11. So around 11:20, that's when I told her I felt like pushing. So I had only been in there for like 20-30 minutes, and I told her, you know, I feel like it's gonna be time to push. So I had a few more contractions, probably. I said, you know, can you check me again? Because I was panicking at that time. I felt like I wouldn't really know when to push, because she wasn't, you know, she didn't check me other than that one time. And so when she checked me, I was fully dilated, and she even felt his head right there. So she broke my waters, and the contractions felt so much better at that time. Like before, during the contractions, I needed my husband there. I didn't want him to leave for any reason. But after she broke my water, I was really in, you know, I was really in the zone. Like I didn't need anybody to touch me or help me during those contractions. And yeah, after a while, she just told me, hey, you can bear down now. When you feel those contractions, just bear down. And yeah, I pushed him out in 2 pushes. It was crazy. So the first one I just pushed, and I felt him coming out. And then the second one, I pushed and pushed, and his head curled. This baby has the biggest head of any baby I've had. So it was just crazy and beautiful. And so his head came out, I felt that, and then he came out, and he came at 12:01 a.m. So I started contractions at 9:12. He came at 12:01. He weighed 8 pounds 9 ounces, so he was a big boy, and it was just so amazing. I had him in the water. Then they took him out, and I remember the midwife assistant saying, look down at your baby, when he was in the water. And I'm like, my hands were in the air. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. So they took him out and put him on my chest, and that was just a beautiful moment. Cleaned him up, got him out of the tub. Well, not cleaned him up, really wrapped him in the towel. Okay, Daddy cut the umbilical cord. And I probably should have done this with my husband, because he probably remembers so many more details than I do. But wrapped him up in a towel, gave him to Daddy so I can get to the bed. They just put him on my chest. And instantly I decided to just, you know, try to nurse him. And the midwife was like, you know, sometimes it takes a while for them to nurse. And he just latched on right away, and he just knew what to do, and he was on there for like 30 minutes. And ever since then, he's just been on the move. And what else? They checked him there. There was no pediatrician there. They just checked him, did the eye thing, gave him a vitamin K shot. I didn't do the hepatitis B shot there. And they put him on his belly, and he was lifting his head. This boy is like so precious and so strong, and it was amazing. So we just took a nap there for like 6 hours after, and we left early in the morning, and we came home. And I didn't tear. it was intense, but it was beautiful. The only thing that I would do differently was to have a doula. Although my labor was really short, and although I had my husband and the midwife there, I felt like I needed somebody to talk me through those strong contractions, and I felt like a doula would have helped more. The midwife talked me through pushing. She told me, you can do it, and that helped me. And I really needed that, assurance the entire time, especially the time I was panicking. But all in all, labor was so short. I had heard someone said, every baby you have, it cuts down in half the time of labor. So my first one, I had him like almost 12 hours, so 11 hours and something. The second one was 6 hours, and this one was 3 hours. So for me, it really was true. So yeah, it went by so quickly. So we're doing really well. He's doing really well, and we're just really blessed, and I'm just amazed at the fact that I had him in 3 hours, and just God blessed me with a short and successful and beautiful labor. And you guys can do it too. This is my third baby that I've had without any epidural or any drugs to numb the pain, and I really would not have it any other way. I feel great. I mean, 4 days postpartum, I've been able to walk around and feel like myself from the very first day, but we've just been resting and enjoying each other. And so that's my birth story, guys. Thank you so much for following along with me for this entire journey, and yeah, for our third little boy. So if you have any questions, just leave them below. For those of you that are overdue, you're past your due date, I really know what it feels like, but baby will come. Continue to walk, continue to relax. Try ginger tea. I don't know, it might work. So yeah, thank you guys for listening, and until next time, bye.